and they get promoted into the house. Oh, no, not a bad. That's why I think it should be on the bottom.
A microphone plugged in here?
Yeah.
Oh, not on me. Yeah.
No, do you have one plugged in now?
Oh, into the camera?
Yeah,
Your
half
mics?
mouse?
No.
We got no sound coming out on the stream. So I'm just trying
From either mic?
we can hear the game, but we can't hear us.
Yeah, right. I don't know if there's a setting to be doing. they're definitely both plugged in. Yeah. No. That's going into the live still.
No, this one here.
Oh, that's for the Zoom there, yeah. Nothing else plugged in?
No.
Just the normal setup?
No.
No chances either way just yet. Johns tries to get the ball forward. It's been cleared there by Hogg. And that's not a bad ball. It's found Daphne McLeod, who's playing as a left wing back on this occasion. She tries to put through Burke. Not much room to move. It's going to be a throw for Adelaide Uni. Not a lot of movement. It's waiting for something to come, but really, Curry was a little bit flat-footed there, so Adamopoulos can pass the ball out. Pritchard, Hodgson, goes long. Only Kasumovic ahead of her, but the ball's broken to Tilly, and she tries to put Kasumovic on, and very nearly got hold of the ball. It's come out to Johns. Kirkby's got space. This is an opportunity for West Adelaide. And it's been bundled in. It's a goal. I think Pritchard's got it. No. Tilly's taking the congratulations, but I think Macri actually got the goal in the end. Terrific break forward by West Adelaide. And they've taken the lead in the 7th minute. And that really started all the way from the back with Emily Hodgson clearing the ball out of right back, going long. And good battling up forward by both Kasumovic and Tilly to make that opportunity.
Not what Adelaide Uni wanted at all, Paul. They needed to get an early foothold in this game. As we said, they're rooted to the bottom of the ladder right now, and they need a result tonight, considering the NTC got 3 points against Fulham. And that's not what Costa Jaric wanted from his team. Only about 5 or 6 minutes in to this game, and they already find themselves 1-0 down Adelaide Uni. If you are just joining us, we do apologise for those audio issues at the start of the match, but we know that you got us. Welcome, and this is the WMPL Match of the Month. It's proudly presented by RAA. Car insurance that keeps you moving. Visit raa.com.au to get a quote today. And thank you so much for being part of it. I hope you're enjoying this game in the comfort of your lounge with a nice hot cup of cocoa, as Mrs. Doubtfire used to say, because it is bitterly cold here in Adelaide, freezing. And someone who's just been out there kicking a ball in this atrocious weather is Dylan Holmes, and she joins us now.
Hi.
How are you going, Dylan?
Good. Warming up, but yeah, I'm good.
We'll just interrupt for a sec because Adelaide Uni does have a corner, and we'll wait to see. Well, no, there's actually a player down, so we've got a little bit of an interruption. Just trying to pick up who it is. I think it's Nora Pete. but she seems okay. She's just going to have to walk off the field just while this play takes place. Now Adelaide Uni can take their corner again. Only have 3 or 4 players in the box, and Pritchard's going to be able to clear it easily because it was shallow, and Kirkby might be able to hook it further away. Dylan, pretty good way to warm up. Normal thing to do before you come and do commentary is to play in a top of the table clash for your Adelaide City side against Salisbury Inter. Good 2-1 win, puts you in pole position to retain the premiership. Are you happy to get the 3 tonight? You felt like the game went as you would have hoped?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough game. Salisbury were playing fairly defensively, so we had to kind of be really patient, but really proud of the girls. It was a really hard-fought win, and we get to play them again on Monday, so
yes,
should be another good game.
Of course, in the semi-final of the Cup, West just on the attack here, and Kirkby might be able to line up a shot. She does. That's going to go straight to Goldsmith. It's interesting that playing them again on Monday. How do you think that the psychology of that will play out? Do you feel like you've sort of going to have the upper hand after tonight, and you obviously also defeated them in the first round of matches, so you probably go in with a bit of a spring in your step?
Yeah, and I think now that we've played them twice, we kind of know what their strengths are and where we can exploit some of their weaknesses. But I guess the Cup competition is a totally different thing, and it's do or die, so it's whatever happens on the day is final, so we really have to be up for it.
So Pritchard might be about to line up a shot for West, but no, that's gone through again to Evie Goldsmith in the Adelaide Uni goal. And of course you've got yourself into a position now where the premiership looks pretty safe. You've got to be happy with the way the season's gone, because apart from round 1 where a lot of players that were tied to Adelaide United, such as yourself, were unavailable, well, West are on the attack again. They're really going for Kirkby! And Tilly might score! Oh, good save by Goldsmith. She had to be sharp there because Tilly was shooting from point-blank range. We'll just stay with the action for a moment. Here's Cerulis. And that's been intercepted now. Is there a chance now for Sparrow? Pritchard's gotten in the way. And she's going to take control in this Hodgson. But... you guys would have set yourself a goal. I mean, you won everything last season. I mean, that's all you can really do again. But you seem to have probably done it with even more authority this season.
Yeah, I think this year we really stamped our authority on the league, and we haven't dropped points since round 1. So it's definitely, I think we've been playing better football this year, to be honest. So we're happy with where we are.
Is it hard to stay motivated once you've achieved what you've achieved with a team like Adelaide City, who just seems to win title after title? What keeps you motivated, and what makes you wanting to come out and play football in the pouring rain on a Friday night in the cold and do all the things that you do?
I think in part is that we know we can get so much better than what we are, and I think that kind of drives us to keep pushing each other at trainings and in games, that even though we're winning games fairly comfortably in some instances, I think we still want to be able to put more goals away and keep more clean sheets and just do kind of the simple things better. So I think that's kind of what drives us week by week, and hopefully that kind of translates onto the pitch with performances.
Another corner to Adelaide Uni in the 11th minute. They trail 1-0. Players coming forward, including Grace Abbey. She'll be a presence up there, but whereas the first corner where it was too short, this one's gone over everybody, unfortunately, for the team in black. And that's given Kirkby the chance to bring the ball away. Here's Atkins. Willisey, and West have time. Adamopoulos. Hodgson scored a rare goal last week, a very good one too. Having another very good season. Of course, she scored one for Adelaide United in her very first season, Emily Hodgson, and Spiro, you and I were commentating that game for radio. It was a very famous one. It was a 5-2 win over Sydney FC at Hindmarsh Stadium, no less. Here's Tilly, though, and she's had a shot that'll go straight to Goldsmith. And Sydney had just pulled themselves back to 2-2 in the second half, and Hodgson, who was playing on the up on the wing that day, got what so far is her only goal for the Reds. Here's Pritchard.
If I remember correctly, Paul, Adelaide's win meant that Sydney didn't win the
That's right.
premiership.
United denied Sydney FC the premiership that season by winning that game. And I guess just getting back to the conversation about Adelaide City, a lot of you, I guess that's another thing, is a lot of you are Adelaide United players, and I guess a big part of your motivation is keeping as high a level as you can while you're outside of W League season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, for us, we want to treat the WNPL as a way for us to kind of work on individual things that we've kind of set targets for, and I think that kind of creates an environment where that benefits everybody. Like, individually we want to get better, so that kind of pushes the group to get better as well. So it's a really good environment to be in because we have all of that experience and that kind of desire to play at a higher level.
I know you had you were doing some duties with Adelaide United during the week. Here's Tilly again, trying to make a few things happen for West. Just interchanging passes with Johns. Now brings it out right to Hodgson. West have looked pretty sharp so far in attack this evening. Really asking the questions of the Blacks. But on that occasion, McLeod's won the ball. And she's able to tidy up. Uni have got Sparrow on the advance here. She's won the ball. She doesn't have much on. Can she get it through to Burke? And it was cleared there by Johns in the end. Yeah, obviously you were doing some Adelaide United duties during the week. Announcements with Ivan Karlovic becoming the new head of women's football and Adrian Stenter stepping up to coach. And I saw that you all had a session together. It's a bit weird. You sort of come together with players like Sarah Willisey and Emily Hodgson and Laura Johns, and then, a couple of weeks before, a couple of weeks after, you're playing usually a huge match. It always is when City play West in this competition.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit strange, but I think, we've known these girls for so long that it's just, when we get back into United, it's just so nice to see them, and it's kind of like no time has passed. So I think we're able to put our local club rivalries aside and focus on what we need to do at United, which is really cool.
At the risk of freaking you out a little bit, I got a message from a friend in Queensland before the game who wants me to tell you that he thinks you're the best player in the WNPL by a long way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's big.
I promise it was a friend from Queensland, okay? It's not me saying it, right? It's not me. But he said, I hear you calling me Dylan tonight. I was like, yeah. He's like, tell her she's the best player in the WNPL. I said, all right, I will.
Wow. Well,
so hello to George K in Queensland. Hope you're enjoying it. It's probably much nicer up there than it is here this evening. Just quickly, something a bit quirky, Dylan. Last time we were doing the match of the month, it was the Adelaide City West Adelaide game, and I found out that you were born in Brazil.
Yeah.
You got any intentions of representing Brazil at national level, international level, or
Yeah, well,
can we lock you in for the Matildas?
I have an expired Brazilian passport, so I'm not sure technicalities of how that might work, but
What's your Portuguese like?
Oh, it's non-existent. Non-existent. I think I speak a bit more Spanish than Portuguese.
Well, yes, I understand. I think you must have moved around a bit with parents' work, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a bit of time in South America, different parts of South America, I understand. So, that's a very not unusual, I guess, background, and would have given you a few interesting experiences growing up, I'm sure.
Definitely, yeah, a few interesting ones, that's for sure.
We are delighted to have you on the commentary tonight, Dylan, and we look forward to your insights throughout this match. We are in the 16th minute. It is 1-0 to West Adelaide. An early goal from Georgia Macri putting the Blues in front. Adelaide Uni really needs some points tonight. As we've said previously, the NTC got a 2-0 win against Fulham in the earlier game, and also Adelaide City beating Salisbury into 2-1 in the top of the table clash. A win tonight will see West Adelaide reclaim second spot ahead of Salisbury. Into Adelaide City now quite comfortable up the top. After that win tonight, they'll be on 30 points, and if West get the 3 points, they'll be 6 points clear of them. So Adelaide City doing it quite comfortably right now. And this was probably the closest game you guys have had score-wise, I think, Dylan, in a few weeks, I reckon.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, I don't think we've had a game since round one where we haven't scored fewer than 4 goals, which...
That's an amazing statistic when you
Yeah.
think about it. And you did not have Chelsea Dorber tonight, who's
Yeah, we
averaging
didn't.
3 goals a game. But
Unbelievable.
But, I mean, I think you've scored at least a goal a game, or close to a goal a game so far, haven't you?
Yeah, surprisingly, I don't know how, but yeah, find myself in good spots this year. I think I'm playing a bit higher, which helps, and yeah, luckily have really great teammates to put me in good positions. So
all the way back now to Goldsmith, and she looks for McLeod. Interesting tonight, Uni playing a 3-5-2. You don't really see that often. Here they are on the break now, looking for the ball inside. Sparrow trying to get onto it, but that'll be a foul. The first one, I believe, in the game. Actually, it's been a relatively second one, I'm being told, by our stats person. First one for Adelaide Uni, though, or second one for Adelaide Uni? No, it's two for Adelaide Uni. I should probably pay a bit more attention. I think that's what I'm being told. Maybe that wasn't two fouls. This is a dangerous position for Adelaide Uni, who really are a much better team, Paul, than their position on the table would insinuate. And I don't know about you, but I'm genuinely shocked to see them down the bottom.
I think it says a lot about the strength of the competition, though. I think, this sort of side, with these sorts of names, we'll just pause for the free kick.
Swung in by Uni, near post, but Sarah Willisey very confident there. And she's an excellent goalkeeper, Sarah Willisey.
Of course, a lot of these are former teammates of yours, Dylan. A huge amount of ex-Adelaide City players out at Adelaide Uni. But, they have been on the end of a few sort of tight results as well, haven't they?
yeah, and I think they're such a young team. I mean, the fact that Daphne McLeod is, I think, the oldest player out there for Uni.
That's a great volley. That's an excellent save by Sarah Willisey. Just as we're talking about how far she's come as a goalkeeper, that looked for all money that Adelaide Uni was going to score, and Sarah Willisey with the ball behind her, palms it wide. That's a world-class save, and she shows what she's capable of. And Adelaide Uni will be
Sarah Willisey, isn't it?
It's true, but Adelaide Uni would be devastated that didn't hit the back of the net, because that looked for all money. That was going to be the equaliser. But what a save from the West keeper.
Kirkby out to Tilly. Kirkby's brought back into the middle. Macri! It was almost a repeat of the first goal. And West just showing how dangerous they are on the break.
Paul, there is a game going on concurrently with this one, just nearby to us. There are two synthetic pitches here at Angle Park, and it's the Adelaide Comets who've taken a 1-0 lead against Metro.
There's going to be a goal kick to be taken by Evie Goldsmith. It's another Adelaide United player. Hasn't made a debut yet in the Reds, but as far as on the field, but has been the backup keeper to the keeper at the other end tonight for West Adelaide, Sarah Willisey. Now West Adelaide coming forward. Sparrow trying to get the ball under control. A bit difficult. Now it's box, sorry. It's been cleared. And Tilly might win this, she does. But well done by Princess. And her ball is going to go all the way through.
Dylan, can I ask you, obviously you play on the synthetic surface every week in the WNPL, but just how much quicker or how much of a difference does a wet synthetic surface make to a game?
Oh, it makes a huge difference. You really have to come in knowing that the way you pass the ball is going to be affected by the surface, and it definitely makes the game a lot faster when the pitch is wet.
Does the ball tend to spin more as well?
A little bit, but it travels so fast sometimes it doesn't get the movement you would normally get when it has that spin.
Now while we've been talking, so John's just coming forward now, but just a bit much on that path. But Nora Pete was in the end substituted. Georgia Box has come on for her. And I don't know if when she walked off it didn't look too bad, but she hasn't come back out. So early substitution there for Adelaide Uni. Of course, there can be 5 made for the WNPL at the moment. One of the special conditions that's come in since we've come back from the long enforced lockdown break. Here's Tilly, very busy in this game so far. Tries to pull the ball back, but Princess is there. That's a bit too much for Box. Atkins, Pritchard, Hodgson.
We should remind people, Paul, while we're talking about substitutions, that whilst you can make 5 subs, you can only stop the game 3 times to make those substitutions. So if Costa Yarich needs to make those other 4 subs, he can only do them with 2 more stoppages unless he makes one at half-time, and that doesn't count.
Very well explained. Half-time ones can be done without losing your allotted 3 slots to stop the game in for a sub.
That might be the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Paul.
Yeah, I'd say it probably is. Always a pleasure. Round 11 of the WMPL. Tonight's WMPL match of the month is proudly presented by RAA. Car insurance that keeps you moving. Visit raa.com.au to get a quote today. And the conditions have calmed down a bit, even though it's been a very wet and woolly sort of evening and day before that. Now, here's an opportunity for Macri. Brings the ball inside, but that's going to be cut out. West Adelaide's attacking has been, I wouldn't quite say relentless, but they've certainly been in the attacking half far more in this match so far. And we're halfway through the first half and they lead 1-0. Just on that, Dylan, when West has played City over, and there's been so many big meetings over the last few years, one thing I've always thought, and I'd be interested to see what your thoughts are, but even though you guys have had the edge, I always feel like West haven't done a bad job at sort of tactically trying to sort of play the game in the sort of pace and style that they want. Is that the way, do you see the tactical battle like that, or are we sort of looking in too much and maybe it's just more a case of players' individual actions?
No, I definitely think that tactically they're always very well set up when they play us. And they make it hard for us, and especially in the first kind of 20-25 minutes until we kind of figure out how they're set up to really try and exploit it. But yeah, it's definitely a tactical battle against West Adelaide. Adrian's very smart in the way he sets them up.
Now Willisey will clean up there after the interception from Sparrow. I thought particularly in the grand final last year, which ultimately City won with a late extra time goal. But I thought, and I know it was a very hot day and it was really, really taxing conditions, but I thought it was the pace that suited them best in that particular game. But when you played them a few weeks ago, I thought, if anything, the reverse happened, and perhaps they played their line a bit high, and you were really able to exploit that with some terrific through balls.
Yeah, I think we played really well on the transition in that last game against West Adelaide, and we were able to exploit that high line. But they did have a lot of the ball in that game, so we had to kind of be smart in the way we went forward.
Box has just lost out there to Pritchard. Kirkby, she's not able to win the ball, and it's brought away for Adelaide Uni. Now Burke is on the move. Can she get a quality ball into Sparrow? It's done well, Burke. Opportunity, but it's been well cleared in the end. And Uni get the chance to reset through McLeod. Gee, that's a good ball. Oh, it just ran away from Sparrow. And Willisey will be grateful that it had just that extra bit of oomph on it to carry it into her arms.
Sarah Willisey now with a switch. Here's Johns. Down the line for Tilly. She cuts inside beautifully, Nicole Tilly. And that's a great ball, well intercepted though by McFarlane. And Adelaide Uni dallying just a little bit, and they're going to need to play it all the way back to Goldsmith. And Goldsmith with a bit of a heavy touch, put herself under pressure. They've given it away, Uni, but well recovered there by McFarlane. And she plays it out wide to McLeod. Given away though, Atkins. Beautifully tackled again by McFarlane. And here comes Adelaide Uni. Curry. Inside to box. An early substitute for Uni. Hogg. Now it's McLeod. Looking for a ball inside. Adamopoulos has done well. Saroulis. Kirkby loses out. And Hogg again. But given away. And here's Hodgson. Hodgson now to Macri. Macri has already got one this game. 1-on-1 against McFarlane. Looks to get past her, but probably a little bit too much. Indeed, it did have too much, and that'll be a goal kick for Adelaide Uni. And what we're noticing, Paul, straight away is that Carlia Hogg, who's not playing as a centre-back as she was named, has already dropped into the midfield.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Dylan about Carlia. Obviously, she came over a couple of seasons ago to join Adelaide United, and this is her first season in domestic play in South Australia. She was in Wollongong last year playing for Illawarra. She seems like a sort of genuine number 6 type of player, but also has some defensive abilities. What else could you tell us about Carlia? She's obviously got a lot of experience.
Yeah, she's so experienced, and she's just very smart in the way she plays the game. But I think one of her greatest strengths is she's such a good athlete. Like, she can really cover the ground well, and so when we need to push forward, she's always able to go. But at the same time, defensively, she's very, very smart. So I'm really excited to see her back out playing. She's had a bit of a tough run with injuries in the last year or two, so it's really nice to see her back out there and hopefully staying injury-free.
Yeah, she's completed a rehab very recently, played in the reserves last week, got a goal for uni, and straight into the first team after one reserves appearance. And yeah, I echo that. Great to see her out there. Adamopoulos just under a bit of pressure there. Hodgson, Atkins, Pritchard, he's lost out. Oh, and that's just run on a little bit too far for Hogg, and Tilly's able to cash in. Pritchard, Tilly, back to Pritchard. She's got Hodgson overlapping. Decides to go inboard to Macri, but that'll be cleared. Here's Curry. It's done well, but the ball's just run on a bit too far. Kasumovic. Atkins. Out to Hodgson. So that one's not going to come to anything as well, and that's Abby clearing the ball away to McLeod. It's the old City connection.
It is the old City connection. They were our 2 centre backs 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, clearing the ball. Let's come out onto the defensive right-hand side for West Adelaide to take a throw through Hodgson.
Apart from the early goal, Paul, there really hasn't been much goalmouth action.
Yeah, I think West have only have had one other good chance, pulled a good save out of Evie Goldsmith, and of course that was a tremendous save that Willisey made as well. It was from Abby in the end, that hook over from a corner. Hodgson getting forward a lot more, I think, as this season's been going on. Emily Hodgson. Here's Adamopoulos. Atkins. West just trying to work the ball up there, attacking right. Here's Kirkby. Pritchard. Hodgson. Just no way through on that occasion. So it's interesting. What sort of do the instructions for Emily Hodgson change a little bit sometimes with the way that when you're at Adelaide United together? Sometimes I see she does push forward a lot. Other times she really is, very rarely getting far ahead of the back four. And I've noticed with West Adelaide in the last couple of weeks she's been getting forward quite a bit, but that's not always the case. Is it really just a case of who you're playing and how you're setting up?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a case of who we're playing. I think, at United, tactically, we're always set up kind of differently depending on who we're playing. So some games she does have that freedom where she can go forward, and other games we just need her to kind of sit in and just keep it tight defensively. So I guess it does depend week by week what the tactical plan is.
So I'm noticing tonight that Johns hasn't got up as far as much so far this evening as Hodgson has, and whether that's by design or that's just the way the flow of the game has gone so far, only Adrian Sandtrack and his players know.
Sarah Willisey now. There's a bit of a lull in the game right now. Here's Psaroulis, ever reliable for West as a centre-back. That's a great ball to Johns, but just a little bit too much on it, and as soon as it picked up that speed on the surface, it was always going to be a challenge for Johns.
When there's a lull when we commentate Adelaide City, usually a few seconds later we say Chelsea Dorber goal.
It's funny because it's true, but McLeod down the line to Burke. She's doing really well there against Hodgson. That was two very, very fast players going head to head, and in the end the West right back won out, and that'll be a goal kick for West Adelaide. It is 1-0 here at Valo Sports Centre in favour of West Adelaide. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight's WNPL Match of the Month is proudly presented by RAA. RAA are kicking goals with award-winning home insurance. Get a quote today at raa.com.au. Willisey now. Short option to Psaroulis, who then hoiks it long. Abby's done well there to win it. Parinsis, bit loose, but should be okay. Excellent work there by West. Kasumovic lost out, but well recovered by Kirkby. Kirkby now. Inside to Atkins. Pritchard lets it run. It's picked up by Hodgson on the far side. Pritchard again. Kirkby. Well tackled though by Hogg. And Adelaide Uni looking to counter, but that's a loose pass and it's fallen to Tilly. Kirkby, 1-2 with Tilly. Here's Nicole Tilly breaking through into the box. Can she do something with the ball here? Nicole Tilly. That's hit the side netting. I think the Adelaide Uni keeper was quite lucky there because Goldsmith had already gone to ground and Tilly went for goals, but just slightly inaccurate. And in the end, hitting the side netting. And that is a warning shot fired for Adelaide Uni. And West Adelaide there were looking to make it 2-0.
Dylan, are there any players you focus on when you play West? Are they? Do you sort of, is it a case of, look, we're going to play our own game? We'll just pause for a moment because they're on the attack again.
Macri inside.
Kasumovic.
You go, Paul.
Sorry, go ahead. But any players that you actually sort of say, well, this is who's dangerous to us, we think, or do you have different plans for different people, or is it more a case of, no, we're going to impose ourselves?
Well, I think if you started going through each player's strengths, it would just, you're kind of going down a rabbit hole because they have so many talented players. It would drive you crazy trying to think of everybody's strengths because they're a very good side. So it's more about what we do and how we can kind of exploit their weaknesses more generally rather than on an individual basis, because we know every single player on that team is a very good player, so we have to be at our best every time we play them.
Here's Sparrow, but Psaroulis has done really well, and she's gotten that wide to Johns. Johns now getting forward. Psaroulis trying to get the overlap from Johns, but that should be comfortable for Goldsmith, and it is. This is, as we just said, the WNPL Match of the Month. My name is Spiro, and next to me is Paul, and we are delighted to be welcomed by Adelaide United and Adelaide City midfielder Dylan Holmes. Please stay with us for the duration of the night, and we hope you're enjoying this Match of the Month wherever you may be watching from. That'll be a free kick for West Adelaide. That'll be their first one of the game. I got that one right. Swung in. Kirkby now. Can she bring it under control? Hasn't gone out. Looks to play it on the ground. That's a great ball. Here's Johns. Just a heavy touch. Probably fell on her non-preferred right. Got away from her. And Adelaide Uni now look to break really quickly. Hodgson's been called for handball. I hate the new handball rule, Paul, I'm not going to lie, but under the rule, that is a handball, but it absolutely...
You're preaching to the converted.
Does not... I don't know what the right word is. Do we have a dump button? We don't have a dump button, so I better stop there. Psaroulis got lucky with that one, and that should be easy for Willisey, and it is.
Pritchard. He's got some space. Brings it back into Atkins. Hodgson overlapping again, but that's going to be a bit much. Of course, another former teammate of yours, Ellie Atkins, just so much talent at City, she really wasn't able to get too many starting appearances in the last couple of seasons there.
Yeah, I think especially last year we just had such a big squad, so it was hard for a lot of the girls to get as much game time as they probably deserved, and so I'm really happy to see Ali out starting for West Adelaide every week and really playing well. I think she's having a really great season.
Yeah, and I guess that just underlines what you say. I mean, she's a regular starter in what is either the second or third best team in the competition. So really amazing depth that City's had over the last couple of years. Here's Macri. It's a hat-trick last week and going at a goal a game as she so often does. Pritchard. But, now, that was well done there in the end by McLeod. And here's a chance for Sparrow. Oh, and it's just run too far. And Willisey was very quick off the line and, in fact, has managed to find Hodgson with her clearance. It's worked out well for West. Atkins. Hodgson's just about playing on the right wing at the moment. Pritchard. Good challenge there by Hogg, but it's going to break to Hodgson again. He's going to get a cross in. Tilly. Pritchard. Kirkby. And, oh, it's hit the bar. And falls into the grateful arms of Goldsmith. Well, West haven't always been able to break through, but they're certainly getting to that spot at the top of the 18-yard box. But here's a breakthrough now for Kasumovic. Can she get on the board? Good save, Goldsmith. And Kasumovic is going to have to wait just a bit longer to get her opening goal at senior level for the season. But she done well there. Just so you know, in the other game, the score is 1-0. Comets are leading Metro, and we understand Victoria Mansueto has got the goal in that game. Here's Kirkby. Kasumovic trying to turn, but Abby's going to deal with that. And now here's Sparrow. It's just gone a bit too far for her striking partner in Burke. Cyrulis. Under pressure. Willis able to control it out to Hodgson. Adamopoulos. Good touch there for Kirkby. She's almost lost out though to box, but she manages to hold on to the ball. And nearly a little bit of confusion, but Goldsmith was awake to the danger and cleared. Oh, Willisey's clearance went straight into Sparrow. And she's just gone up a bit proppy from that, but I think she's going to be okay. Here's Curry. She pulled the trigger. Still going. This is as deep as Uni have got for a little while, but they've just lost the momentum. Parensis. Good ball. But again, it's just gone a little bit too far.
Just keep an eye on Lucy Adamopoulos, Paul, in the central defence for West Adelaide. It looks like she's taken a bit of a knock. And in fact, Sarah Willisey has seen that now and has kicked the ball out. So interesting to see if Lucy Adamopoulos will be able to continue. She could not move. And I just wonder, cold weather and maybe whether that loose touch she had, and she was challenged.
It's a pretty straightforward replacement if Adamopoulos has to go, because Abby Touchette, who's been the regular centre-back for West before Lucy returned, is available if she's got to go, but it doesn't look good at all.
No, and I just wonder whether she rolled, it looks like she may have rolled an ankle just by the way she's propping it up there and not putting pressure on it, or I wonder where she copped a big kick, because it was a bit of a 50-50 challenge, and in the cold and in the wet, we all know how much they hurt when they happen. But I cannot see, like you just said, Paul, Lucy Adamopoulos continue. In fact, she's now being carried off, so I would say that's the end of the game for Lucy Adamopoulos, which is a real shame.
It's very unfortunate. Just before that, Sasha Curry was lining forward, and she, I thought for a moment she was going to hit one from the same sort of distance she did last week, Dylan. That was, I'm sure you didn't want to see a goal flying into your net from 30 metres out, but that was one amazing strike.
Yeah, it was a great strike. I was actually very impressed with her last week. I think she's fairly young.
Yeah.
15 or 16 maybe, but she was such a bright spot for Uni last week, and this week you can see when she gets the ball, she's always looking to go forward and create things. So I think she's a really exciting talent.
Yeah, no, there's a few young talents at the Uni side, and That's why, despite the difficult season they've had so far, plenty of room to improve with that team they've got. Of course, it's unusual territory in the last 5 seasons. Remarkable stat. Adelaide Uni have finished either 4th or 5th in every season in the last 5. So this is their toughest season for quite a while. Now we're just waiting to see if I think Touchette has come on to replace Adamopoulos. So another sub forced by injury, unfortunately, in this game.
What are you making the tactical battle here, though, Dylan? I've noticed that Adelaide Uni is sitting quite deep and looking to counter. Is that going to work into West Adelaide's hand as the game progresses, as Adelaide Uni might need to open up and get a goal?
Yeah, I think eventually Uni is going to have to push forward. But, yeah, last week against us, they played the 3 at the back as well. So I think they're just trying to keep the game as low scoring as possible, and then maybe get something on the counter. But eventually they're going to have to try and push on and really test West Adelaide.
Who's Touchette, the sub, just came on. Those are the expert comments from Adelaide United and Adelaide City's midfielder Dylan Holmes. Hodgson. Given away by Atkins, but she's managed to win the throw-in, and it will be Hodgson to take it. Right in front of her bench where Lucy Adamopoulos is getting treatment on the sidelines, and she looks like she's in a lot of pain. The centre-back who's just come off. Curry. Harassed by 2 or 3 West players and given away. Tilly plays it out to Hodgson. He's been quite busy as usual. Atkins. Kirkby. Macri. Great play. Kasumovic back to Macri. Can Macri finish it? It's gone past, and Georgia Macri's got the pace. And Georgia Macri makes it 2-0 for West Adelaide just before half-time, as we're about to tick over into the 45th minute. And that is a dagger in the heart for Adelaide Uni that would have been hoping to keep this scoreline at 1-0 or even 1-1 at half-time. But instead, they now face the prospect of going into the half 2-0 down. And it is Georgia Macri with her 2nd goal of the game. A superb piece of play there by West Adelaide. Excellent build-up play. A quick 1-2 with the striker in Kasumovic. And Macri rounded the keeper in Goldsmith and slotted it into the back of the net. And that makes it very, very tough now for Adelaide Uni.
It's 11 goals in 10 matches for Georgia Macri. Uni trying to come back. Here's Parinsas. That's going to be cleared. Oh, hit there by Sparrow. It was blocked. And Uni are really going to need to pull out all the stops here. I mean, goal scoring just hasn't been their forte this season. 4 in the last 2 weeks, as we've mentioned, but only 9 all season. And this is a tough opponent to get a couple against. So what can they do? Parinsas. She's going to get it back from Kalia Hogg. But Tilly's expertly won West the throw, and that might be close. We probably might have a minute or 2 because of the players that have gone off. But Dylan, can you summarise how you've sort of seen this half so far? Is 2-0 probably the right on the balance of what we've seen?
I think so. I think 2-0 is about right. I think West Adelaide has had a lot of the ball, but there haven't been too many clear-cut chances. But so I'd say 2-0 is fair, but I don't think Uni is out of this game yet. I think with the chance that Grace had from the corner early on, that they can create opportunities, and hopefully in the second half they can push on a little bit.
I guess they've also got players like Valeria Guajardo and Piri Weeks to throw on there to try to sort of boost their forward line if they're looking for goals. So there's certainly some options for Kostiaric in the second half. But maybe they could get one more in the first, because on the march here is Burke. Just looking for an opportunity to cut the ball back. Boxes available, but well done by Hodgson to make sure that that ball never eventuated. And West Adelaide are going to be able to take the 2-0 lead into the sheds. It's Adelaide University 0, West Adelaide 2, tonight's WMPL Match of the Month, proudly presented by RAA, car insurance that keeps you moving. Visit raa.com.au to get a quote today. We'll be back with you for the second half. Hope you stay with us on Football SA's streaming coverage of this Round 11 WMPL match between Adelaide University and West Adelaide. Welcome back to Football SA's live stream of Round 11 WNPL action here at Vallo Football Centre at Angle Park, bringing you the match between Adelaide University and West Adelaide. Adelaide University coming into this game in bottom position, but in what has been a very, very tight competition. West Adelaide starting the night in third, but knowing that with Salisbury Inter's loss to Adelaide City, a win tonight will get them back into second spot. And so far they are 2-0 up. We'll just have a quick look at some of the stats. West Adelaide have had 8 shots to Uni's 5. 7 of those 8 on target. That's pretty good going. And Uni with 3 out of 5 on target as well was not bad. 3 corners in the game, and they've all been Adelaide Uni's way, contrarily enough. But it has been interesting. Dylan Holmes has been with us, Adelaide City and Adelaide United midfielder. It's been great to have you so far, and thank you for staying with us for this game after you played in the earlier kickoff. West have just had more attacking impetus, haven't they?
Yeah, they definitely have played most of the game at Adelaide Uni's half, and they're stringing together some really nice passes and looking for that combination play. So it'll be interesting to see if in the second half they can continue to do that and see if it pays off.
There's really going to have to come a point where Uni, if they don't reply soon, are going to need to perhaps start to look at changing the way they set up, because so often they've got Sparrow and Burke up forward, but they're often a little bit outnumbered, sometimes by a couple of players. Yeah,
and they're a little bit isolated, I think. I think the way Uni's playing with the 3 at the back, it's important that the midfielders really try and make the effort to get up and support Sparrow and Burke, because they are a little bit isolated. But hopefully they can push forward a bit more in this half.
Well, he's going to have to throw some caution into the wind here, Costa Yarich, because as we said at the start of the coverage, a loss tonight and they're going to find themselves in a real spot of bother. They'll actually find themselves potentially as far as 4 points adrift from their nearest rival, because Comets, who are currently second bottom, are beating Metro in the game being played concurrently right now 1-0, and if they get the points and NTC got the points tonight, Adelaide Uni will be a long way back, so they're going to need to get something out of this game, Adelaide Uni, with only 3 rounds left after this one, if they want to avoid potential relegation into the league below.
Just getting ready for kickoff. This is going to be West Adelaide's kickoff. They'll be kicking to the southern or city end here at Vallo, and Kasumovic gets them underway. They lead 2-0. 2 goals from Georgia Macri, who's in absolutely sparkling form at the moment. She also, of course, got a hat-trick last week when West Adelaide defeated Comets by 6 goals to 2. Now, and here's a bit of a problem for Adelaide Uni, but the ball just won't come down for Kasumovic when Goldsmith was so far off her line. Hodgson has had to concede the throw there. It's going to be McLeod to come up and take it. He's won so many trophies at Adelaide City, Daphne McLeod. Now trading the black and white stripes for the more black strip of Adelaide Uni. And playing on the left-hand side, often at centre-back as well. Good turn here. Now Uni on the attack, but Pritchard's going to be able to clear. Down the line, Macri, it's just gone over her, but she might win it back. McLeod, though, read the situation well. Abby. Now, it's been intercepted. Kasumovic is going to try to get the ball forward. That's a good ball for Tilly. It's just run a little bit too far, and Parensis is going to be able to get it away. Guajardo has come on for Adelaide Uni and just going to try and work out who she's replaced. But that's one of those attacking moves that we talked about, because the other 2 forwards that started, Sparrow and Burke, are still out there. I've got a feeling Curry might have been the player sacrificed, but we'll just keep an eye on that. No, she is out there.
Well, I reckon it might be Box. The substitute's been substituted. I can't see.
We'll just keep an eye on that.
Here's Willisey now. Brought up now by West Adelaide. Here's Pritchard. She's got the ball from Atkins. Here's Tilly. And Uni's done really well there with Curry to win the ball. That looked like a foul, but the referee has decided it's play on. And Tilly trying to get past Abby. And it's been forced to go back to Hodgson. Hodgson now. Nice first time touch. Pritchard. Good 1-2. And a free kick. An obvious foul, and you might have just caught Adrian Sandtrack letting the ref know that he thought it was a foul, and the ref had already made a decision before Adrian had yelled out to let the referee know. But it'll be probably too far to have a direct shot, and there is just a slight breeze going against West Adelaide, so you'd think they'd probably look to cross it in. And of course they've got Pritchard, who's very tall, and she's trying to sneak in the back post. That's well done there. Is Kasumovic. Should be comfortable. Oh no, it's a heavy touch, and is Kasumovic looking for her first goal as a senior WNPL player, but she lost the ball in her feet and cleared, but only as far as Atkins. Atkins now. Kirkby tackled well. And here's Guajardo. Sorry, that was Burke. And Paul,
there's been a couple of changes by Uni.
Box is definitely still out there, so we're just trying to find...
Ianella's gone.
Yes, Georgia Ianella, correct.
But there's been a couple of changes because Weeks is out there as well. And she's got the captain's armband on.
It looks like Kalia Hogg's the other substituted player, Paul.
Yep.
I won't take credit. That was Dylan who told me that. It's good to have someone who knows what they're doing on the broadcast, Paul.
The 4-4-2.
Here's Adelaide Uni with a great shot there. That was McFarlane. You notice how Paul didn't laugh when I said nice to have someone who knows what they're doing on the broadcast? He just said, yeah, it's true.
Oh, I was concentrating, mate. I laughed inside.
Guajardo flicked it forward, and Uni with the ball at the top of the box. It's a good 50-50 challenge, and it should be easy for Sarah Willisey, and it is. And Sarah Willisey now looking to clear. Here's Tilly. Costa Yarich begging for a handball, but referee decided that was play on. And now he's given a free kick to West Adelaide. And it's probably best we don't repeat what Costa said after the foul was given against his team. But he's showing very signs of a lot of frustration, the Adelaide Uni coach. It's a very unenviable position he finds himself in and his team in. A bit too much there for West Adelaide. Oh, in fact, the referee's brought that back for a foul. And I believe, Paul, this is the referee's first senior fixture, if I'm not mistaken.
It is Cole Davies' first senior fixture. Congratulations to him, and don't think he's got a thing wrong so far, so very good debut.
Kasumovic. Kirkby.
Look out for the commentator's curse, of course.
Macri. And Uni looking to get out. Here's Box. She's done well, but harassed by Kirkby. He's been very impressive for West Adelaide. Been in the thick of everything, has Kirkby for the Blues. I should probably call them Hellas. That's what they like to be known as. Psaroulis plays it all the way back. And Willisey will relieve the pressure.
Tonight's WNPL Match of the Month, proudly presented by RAA. RAA are kicking goals with award-winning home insurance. Get a quote today at raa.com.au. Now, Adelaide Uni have definitely upped their intent in this half. I don't think there's any question of that. I think we've seen that Metro have equalised in the other game being played. That's between them and Comet, so if we get some news about who the scorer is, we'll let you know.
Well, there was a free kick taken, Paul, and I can give you one guess who took the free kick. Stella Ragon with that left foot. Was an in-swinger.
Laura Stockdale scored from a free kick the other week, so if it was the left foot, then yes, I think Stella would probably be the leading candidate. The ball's just bobbling a bit in midfield at the moment. Uni just trying to come forward. That'll be a foul by Tilly. And, just a bit of getting a bit vocal on the sidelines at the moment.
getting a bit of a stick back is Costa Yarish from the crowd.
Abby goes long, but that's going to be won by Pritchard. And now Macri's got a bit of space if she can get there first. She's nodded it on. Kasumovic in a foot race there. Macri now, she's got some space. Kasumovic is there. And, that somehow missed everything.
Did not miss by much, but you're right, Paul. It ended up not...
And Tilly was steaming in on the left-hand side as well, but had it been a little bit squarer, it could have been finished. Had it been a little bit more direct, it could have been a goal if Goldsmith had been napping it at all. She probably was just in the right position on the front post, however, and she's going to take the relieving free kick. Brings it out to McLeod. He's got a bit of space. What's ahead of her? Here's Guajardo. Trying to get the ball in board. Sorry, it was Burke, not Guajardo on that occasion. Pritchard. That's a little bit too much on that. Kasumovic had no chance. Hasn't had a bad game though, Anna Pritchard. She really does. It's very consistent, Dylan. Don't think you ever really see Anna drop her game at all.
No, not at all. I think she's such an important player for West Adelaide, and she's always kind of at the base of all the good work they do. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for Anna, and she's having a really good season.
Is she the one probably that you're face to face with the most when you play West, or is it? I guess Dragana Klage not playing tonight. She might be one that picks you up a bit, or who normally sort of is the one that is snapping away at you the most or closest to you?
I think the last game I was on Dragana quite a bit, especially early on before she went off, but I think their midfield just moves around so much that we kind of end up on everybody for a bit of time. So yeah.
There's confirmation of those substitutions, Paul, on your screen now. So it was Guajardo for Ianella, and very soon you'll see the next one, which was Hogg for Weeks. Sorry to interrupt there.
Now West on the attack. Is Tilly! That was a terrific ball in by Macri. Her and Tilly have swapped wings, and Tilly was right on the spot to finish, and that might just be that. The ball had gone through from Pritchard really, really beautifully to Macri, but she still had a lot of work to do, and the ball in for Tilly was absolutely perfect. And well, at 3-0, it might just be way too much for Adelaide Uni even to get a point out of this game.
I think that might just be it for tonight for Adelaide Uni. I can't really see them scoring 4, well, let alone 3, to be honest, let alone 4. I mean, they've only had that really one great chance from Abby in the first half, which forced a super save from Willisey. But other than that, Adelaide Uni have really struggled to break down the West defence. And now 3 goals ahead is Hellas, and it's going to be hard for Uni to get anything out of tonight's game. And they will be cemented down the bottom of the WNPL ladder, you would think. Unless a miracle can happen. Stranger things have happened in our game, and you never know.
We've talked about Macri going at more than a goal a game, but that's Tilly's 9th in 11. And they're off again here. And Macri, this could be a repeat move. But, it nearly came through. McLeod tries to clear, and in the end it is cleared by Abby. Goodness. Another huge chance for West. But, yeah, Tilly's moved to 9 in 11, so once again she's having a very, very good season for West. And they're on the hunt again. And Princess has really struggled to deal with the swap that has occurred on West's forward line, with Macri moving to the left-hand side and Tilly coming back out to the right.
Looks like Adelaide Uni are preparing another substitution. We'll keep an eye on that. Could be Panagakos coming on, defensive midfielder. We'll just keep you up to date with that.
West have got a free kick just out near the corner flag. Yet another opportunity for them. I think Macri's going to come over to take it. I think Metro might have scored again.
Yes, they have.
To take the lead in the other game.
Well, that's probably the best bit of news Costa Yarrick has had all night, to be honest, the Adelaide Uni coach. That keeps the Comets right down the bottom with them.
Now West, another opportunity. That's going to be easy for Goldsmith.
3-0 now, West Adelaide, and looking really comfortable. Just about to tick over into the 58th minute mark. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight's WNPL Match of the Month is proudly presented by RAA. Car insurance that keeps you moving. Visit raa.com.au to get a quote today. Here's Curry, who's tried really hard all night for Uni. In fact, been very impressive for the Blacks. Inside, and here's a chance now. It's Sparrow, but she's harassed by the West Adelaide defence. And they got a shot off. But that was really comfortable for Sarah Wheelersey. Going to have to do a little bit better than that to beat the Adelaide United goalkeeper, who's come leaps and bounds in the last couple of seasons. Got her chance due to an unfortunate injury to
Eliza Campbell.
Eliza Campbell, thank you, Paul. But has really made the position her own since then. Here's Pritchard. Looking comfortable as ever, Pritchard. That's a great switch. Looks like Macri and Tilly have switched sides. Kirkby won the ball back after a loose pass. West now looking to build up some momentum again. Kirk. That was Atkins. Saroulis turned on the ball. Put herself under just a little bit of pressure, but comfortable as always. Saroulis. Captaining West Adelaide this year. Of course, Chrissa Pavlomanolakos has gone to Salisbury Inter, the usual West Adelaide captain, or the previous West Adelaide captain. So, Saroulis now in charge. Here's Pritchard. Beautiful work. Here's Kirkby. Can she make it 4? It's just gone over the bar. But that was a little bit too easy there for West Adelaide. They held on to possession beautifully for about 2.5 minutes. And Adelaide Uni, as the old saying goes, they were chasing shadows. And West Adelaide were very unlucky not to capitalise. And there will be a change now. It does look like Kirkby who's coming off, which is surprising. I thought she was one of West's best players. Well, I was looking at the wrong players. Adrian Santrak just wanted to talk to her. It will be Atkins. And I was going to say, I thought it was quite surprising that it looked like Kirkby was going to come off, but it was Atkins who come off. And she's been substituted. We're just waiting to confirm a number.
Sienna Cavino.
It is Sienna Cavino, thank you, Paul. Number 28. So that was number 3, Atkins, for 28, Cavino. And that's West Adelaide's first substitution of the night. Second, of course, with Adamopoulos getting injured in the first half. I'm just going to stop saying numbers, I think, Paul. I think I've managed to get every single one wrong. Thank God the score's on the board. It's 6-0, right? No, I'm joking.
Again, I was laughing inside.
Yes, thank goodness I don't have cameras on the commentators, because you would have seen the most awkward stare. Nevertheless, we battle on.
I have to ask you the question, Dylan. I know you probably don't want to answer this.
It's a good start.
As to which is the better side in your opinion.
Just don't answer it.
Oh, wow.
Just leave it blank.
Salisbury Inter or West?
Oh, I can't answer.
That's not fair.
I know it's
That's
not.
not fair.
They're both very, very good.
Yeah, you're a professional sports person if I've ever seen one. Correct answer. Correct weight and all clear there. Good answer.
Oh, that's hard.
The media manager at Adelaide City is delighted with that response.
That's it, yeah.
Good work. See, probably even the previous media manager, I've got a feeling Matty Doolan's over there in the UK saying, "Go Dylan, good answer."
Yeah.
Now Adelaide Uni have an opportunity here, but offside there, unfortunately, against Georgia Box.
It looks like Emily Hodgson's in midfield now.
Yeah, lots has happened.
Yeah.
It looks like Cavino's gone to right back and Hodgson's pushed up to right wing, so you're absolutely right there.
Here's Tilly. Now she's bringing the ball in, and it was a good effort. Kasumovic just probably didn't get quite as strong a connection as she would have liked. And in the end, Goldsmith was able to catch the effort fairly easily. Now Adelaide Uni moving forward. Can they just get a foothold somehow. There's just plenty of time. They just really haven't looked like breaking through. One or two okay chances, but really it was that one chance in the first half to Abbey that brought a ripping save out of Willisey. That was the only time that any of their attempts looked like they might trouble the scorers. They're in attack now. McLeod going to come up to take the throw. No, she's received it on the ball now. So she loses out. It's been that sort of night. Kirkby. Great ball by Hodgson for Tilly, but well covered by Grace Abbey. It's going to be a substitution now. West are going to bring on... Oh, just trying to see if we can pick it up. But I think Christy Hillier is going to come on for Kasumovic. Of course, Hillier is has been the normal centre forward for West in recent times. Not a bad sub to be able to bring on. Tilly. Pritchard just tries to bring the ball inside. Oh, Kirkby's had a shot. And,
do you reckon that was a penalty?
No.
Oh, it was close.
What do you reckon, Dylan?
Yeah, I think it was a bit not quite a pen for me.
No complaints, to be fair.
Yeah.
Adelaide Uni also making a change right now, so it's number 6 coming on, Paul.
Yeah, that's Panagakos. She's played in the starting team on several occasions this year. Player of the Year in the reserves last season for the competition. And of course, Uni won the reserves title in 2019, so good sub to bring on.
She's come on for just in front of us here. Of course, the referees can instruct players to exit the park at any point, so the player who's come off has come off right in front of us, and it's McLeod. And in some sad news, folks, I just saw Lucy Adamopoulos on crutches on the other side. So whatever Lucy's done, she got injured in the first half. It must be pretty bad because she had her leg strapped up pretty tight and already on the crutches. So bad news for her. We wish her a speedy recovery, whatever the injury may be.
West Adelaide on the attack again through Kirkby. Trying to get the 1-2 and does. Back in board for Touchette. Just look very composed, West. The last 10 or so minutes, they've really looked probably... Now, I guess at 3-0 you would say this, but their control of the game has been just about vice-like. Ciroulis. That time that's intercepted by Box pretty well. West are going to win it back. And now they've got an opportunity. It's been turned over. Now, Curry trying to take the through ball. Have a shot, Curry. It's gone just wide. And if you're wondering why I'm cheering her on, any repeat of anything like what she pulled out last week would be something to see. Terrific goal that she scored in the dying minutes of Uni's match against Adelaide City. And
of course, if you want to catch up with all the goals in the NPL and WNPL, why don't you head to the Football SA Facebook page and review the goals of the week. They're always available pretty much on a Monday morning, and you can catch all the action in condensed form there. So if you do want to see the goal that Paul was talking about, jump on the Football SA Facebook and look for the goals of the week and the match highlights. Here's Pritchard to Tilly. That's covered really well there by Adelaide Uni. It's gone all the way through to Touchette, who's been very composed since coming on. Kirkby. 1-2 with Hodgson. That's cleaned up comfortably in the end by Uni, but again, really struggling to make anything happen up front, and that's easy pickings for Ciroulis. And Willisey got the ball from Ciroulis, and it's gone to Touchette, and now with Pritchard. This is probably exactly what Adrian Sandtrack wants now, just taking time off the clock, absolutely no pressure, and just carving through the middle. Ciroulis tried a little bit too much, commentators curse, and here's Adelaide Uni now on the break, Guajardo's trying to get in. And it's comfortable for Sarah Wheelisey. Cavino. Hodgson. Given away by Cavino. Panagakos, who's just come on. Getting involved, and it's all the way back to Goldsmith. Panagakos misjudged that. Not many players as tall as Pritchard, but Panagakos might just have her covered, I reckon. Two absolute towers in the centre of midfield right now. Should be an interesting battle. I think they're both having a bit of a laugh about it too. Tell you what, wouldn't mind no starting centre for my basketball team either. She, very tall, Panagakos. Touchette. Down the line. Pritchard. Hodgson. Hodgson with plenty of space. She's getting forward now. What is Hodgson going to do? Quick 1-2 with Tilly. But well intercepted again by Adelaide Union defence. And here is Panagakos. Does well to keep Pritchard off the ball. Guajardo. That's a good ball. But just offside was Adelaide Uni's number 14, Weeks, who's been in some good goal scoring form lately, but just misjudged her run there. That was excellent from the three Adelaide Uni players, and that's probably one of the most menacing passages of play for them in this second half. They've been a bit underwhelming, really, chasing the game. I think that third goal really took the stuffing out of their attack. Guajardo plays it back to Burke. Burke, who was playing as a striker, is now playing left back. And West Adelaide with the throw-in. Here's Cavino. Hodgson. Pritchard. Back to Cavino. Touchette. Hillier. To Pritchard. Got too much on it. But again, 3-on-1 there for West Adelaide, and you can see they're just hungry for the ball. Kirkby with a great ball to Macri, but again, comfortable was Abby, who really hasn't done much wrong tonight. Despite the scoreline, she's been one of the most impressive players for Uni. Hodgson, Macri, quick 1-2 with Hodgson. She's in the box now. It's coming to Tilly, but well cleared by Burke. And Uni should relieve here with a long ball forward.
Touchette now. Ciroulis. Oh, made a bit of a mess of that, and offered a bit of an opportunity to Weeks, but Ciroulis has made up for her error very, very well. Hillier not able to get onto the end of the pass. Now it's Macri. Kirkby. Uni will be able to relieve. Curry. Now it's with Panagakos. And, her ball was intercepted. It's fallen to Pritchard. There's opportunities here now. Here's Tilly. And Hilly is on her own in the middle if Tilly can find her. But it never got that far. Now Tilly's got the ball again. And that's deflected off Guajardo. And it's going to be easy for Goldsmith. She goes long. Cavino goes past her. But Touchette and Weeks battle. Sparrow trying to get onto it, but it's going to be West's again. Got 20 minutes left, plus whatever time's added on. Here's Hillier, fresh on the pitch. Gets the ball back from Macri. Kirkby's overlapping. This is another good chance. And Hodgson! 4-0! What a great goal by West Adelaide. And Emily Hodgson has 2 goals in 2 weeks. And thoroughly deserved by her too. She's had a terrific game. That was an absolutely beautiful passing move by West involving Hillier, Macri, Kirkby and Hodgson on the end of it. And they've really put a stamp on this game. Absolutely tremendous. And Dylan, that was just straight out of the training manual.
It was. That was a very nice goal to watch, and it's nice to see Em pushing on and getting in some good goal scoring positions. It kind of reminded me of her Adelaide United goal that you guys were talking about earlier. Yeah, really happy for her.
She's had some really good she's had a really good couple of years, I feel, Emily Hodgson. I think she was almost sort of like always in and out of the Adelaide United team for a few seasons, but last year in particular I thought she really, really took that next step and has cemented her position in the team, I think, quite comfortably.
Yeah, I agree. I think last year she had a really great year, and I think it's also easy to forget how young she is. She's still, I think she's only 20, maybe?
Yeah, I think she's born in 2000.
Yeah, and she's already played at least four W League seasons. Yeah. So it was really great to see her last year kind of come into her own a bit and really nail down that right back role.
Pritchard. Panagakos. Adelaide Uni, can they get a consolation goal? It's gone all the way to Parinsas. She swings it in first time, but again, no real threat for Willisey, and she comfortably collects the ball. And here is Hodgson. Cuts inside, easily gets past Panagakos. Hillier. Panagakos did really well to recover. That's an excellent turn from the substitute and opens up beautifully, but just a little bit too much for Parinsas. And that'll be a throw in on the far side. And you got to feel for Adelaide Uni, because on paper they are a very, very talented team, but it's just not going right for them this season. They've had some very poor results, truth be told, but you know, you look at the players on paper, Paul, and you know, you look at the names and you think this squad should be doing much better than it is. And it's
I've said it already. I mean, I think it says a lot about the standard of the competition, and I think also they have suffered a couple of tight losses, and you know, unfortunately there's no reward when that's the case. Here's Cavino on the overlap. Tilly. Well done by McFarlane.
They need to be careful here a little bit, Adelaide Uni, because they don't want to concede too many more. Because one thing they did have going for them was a bit of goal difference. They were negative 17 and Comets were negative 19, but Comets would now be negative 20 because they're still losing 2-1. But Adelaide Uni will be negative 21 if the scoreline remains the same. It's a good shot, but Goldsmith holds on to it. It has been raining for the last 10 minutes or so, so it is quite slippery. So Goldsmith did quite well there to get that on the second attempt. He's had a bit of venom behind it, that shot.
Evie Goldsmith, Dylan, she's obviously been part of the squad for a couple of seasons. She's very young as well. Is someone that's sort of, you know, still on the upward arc as far as her career is going as a keeper?
I think so. I think you know, she has so much potential and is a very talented goalkeeper, and I think these next few years she can really take it to another level, and so it'll be really exciting to see her continue to develop and become a really top goalkeeper.
Of course, one of the problems when you're a goalkeeper is you can only start one, and you have to wait for your opportunity sometimes.
Yeah.
If particularly when with Adelaide United having such a solid number one, it's unfortunate that you sort of have to wait for sort of something to go wrong, but being in the squad, well, that's a pretty good start.
Exactly, yeah.
Here's Kirkby. She opens it up to Macri, who of course is on a hat-trick. She looks to go first time, but cleared by Adelaide Uni. Only as far as Kirkby. Had a great game. Here's Hodgson. Great 1-2 with Hillier. Oh, she shanked that. But that was a good opportunity there for West Adelaide to get their fifth on the board. But in the end, it was a bit of a wayward shot on the left foot for Christy Hillier, who's looked very industrious since coming on for Kasumovic. And Adelaide Uni got to be, like I just said, careful here. They don't concede too many more. It's tough going out there for them right now, but they need to see the game out strong.
I think they have a cup semi-final on Monday.
They do?
Yeah. So that'll be...
That's something they're really going to need to want to rebound for.
Yeah.
And, of course, you never know. You never know your luck in the cup, as you said before, Dylan. They'll be playing against Fulham, so they're going to have a chance.
Yeah, I think, and they beat them a few weeks ago, so, who knows?
You could be facing each other in the final.
We very well could be facing each other in the final if we can get through our semi-final as well.
I think Salisbury might want to have something to say about that.
Exactly, yeah. I think they'll have a...
Would be a repeat, I think, of the 2017 final if that happened.
It would be.
Adelaide City defeating Adelaide Uni 3-2.
Here's Macri, sorry to interrupt, but cleared. And Uni looking to get forward, but again, Kirkby just managing to get in the way of most promising passages of play for Uni. She's been fantastic tonight, Kirkby. That's an attempted switch there for Guajardo, but Cavino read that perfectly. Here's Touchette. She plays it all the way back to Willisey. About to tick over into the 79th minute. Well, there's not too much time left here for Adelaide Uni to get something out of this game. Even a goal or two might just make a difference when it comes down to it. Goal difference always playing a big part in the top of the table and the bottom of the table in most competitions. So they should try and at least get one, if not two. Because Metro is looking comfortable on the other side against Adelaide Comets. It's still 2-1, but it's been all one-way traffic in that game, this second half. Uni now, down the line. But again, the West Adelaide midfield just not giving them anything, really. They just have not stopped. Uni struggled, really struggled to break it down. You can see there Pritchard and Laura Johns just harassing the Uni players and forcing a turnover. And it's been like that for most of the night. Kirkby gets past Panagakos easily. Here's Macri. She's got Tilly inside and also Hodgson making a late run. Goes to Tilly. That's well defended. As far as Hillier. Asking for a handball, but don't think the arm made the body unnaturally bigger, which is what the rule says. I think it probably did hit the arm, but the rule says if the arm, it doesn't make the body unnaturally bigger, whatever that means. Don't get me started on the handball rule again. But I think it was the right decision by the referee and the assistant referee.
He's had a good game.
Actually, had a very impressive debut, has the referee. Short corner by West Adelaide. Here's Tilly. Done well to cut inside Tilly. Took a shot. But Goldsmith very comfortable there. She looks to play out wide quickly to Curry. But Hodgson gets her foot in it. And it's done well to get the ball. Hodgson. Pritchard. Panagakos harassing her, but gets it to Kirkby. That's really well done again by Abby. He's been quite solid for Adelaide Uni. Under a lot of pressure most of the game has Abby, but marshalled defence pretty well. Macri. Hillier. That was excellent by Hodgson, getting a touch to Cavino, but here's Burke, who's been very, very good tonight at left back and up front. Tried very hard. Hodgson. To Hillier. Sorry, that was Tilly. But again, Abby in the way.
Of course,
she clears it and be a throw-in.
Let's not forget Grace Abby's pedigree. 3 seasons at Adelaide United and twice judged best player of a WMPL Grand Final. And we've seen plenty of that tonight, but her side has been overwhelmed by a very, very sharp West Adelaide team. And they come forward again. Tilly not able to control the ball on that occasion. Probably a bit of fatigue starting to set in for a few players. It's a bit tougher under the wetter ground on the synthetic, Dylan, like it would be on natural turf.
Yeah, I guess it depends. I think if the turf is, or the grass, like natural grass, is a bit soft, then it's harder on the legs. But I think with the wet synthetic, it just means the ball moves faster, so the players have to move faster too.
A lot of people that play on the synthetic, Dylan, complain about sore hips and back and sometimes heels. Can you relate to that, or is it just a fitness thing, do you think?
I'm starting to relate to that a bit more as I get older. But yeah, I'd much rather play on a good grass pitch than a synthetic pitch.
I want to ask you actually about, speaking of that, about the pitch at Martin that you normally play on during summer, and of course, grass pitches, often very different in different seasons, so, it's hard to sort of judge sometimes, but it usually looks pretty good from afar. Is it good underfoot?
It's not bad.
Well, sorry, Panagakos has just got a chance here, and we might just interrupt for a second, but that's been blocked. Sorry, go on, Dylan.
It's not bad. I think when we get to play in away games and play in some of the bigger stadiums, you can kind of see what a really well taken care of grass pitch looks and feels like. So I think in that sense, Martin's a little ways behind, but when it's nice, it's not bad.
Hodgson with a long effort. She's having a night out.
She is.
Do you want me to tell you where Martin is miles and miles ahead of any other stadium in the country?
Where?
They got the best scoreboard in the world.
Do they?
No, they don't. You can't see it. It's blue.
No, that's actually so true. There's sometimes in games I'm like looking for the time and I
can't see it.
Yeah, I have to ask the ref.
Goldsmith to clear.
Sorry for anyone from Blue Eagles who's watching. It is a fantastic ground.
It is a very nice ground.
But that scoreboard.
Covino. Tonight's WNPL match of the month is proudly presented by RAA. Car insurance that keeps you moving. Visit raa.com.au to get a quote today.
Great supporters of local football and women's football in particular in South Australia. Big thank you to the RAA.
Pritchard. Covino. Bursting out of the right back position. She's been well covered there by Burke. Now it's back with McFarlane. Abby. Burke. That's not a bad ball. Guajardo has got a bit of an opportunity here. Weeks is in the middle. Guajardo. Oh, it's been well cut out in the end. And West will come away again. Pritchard's got space, but she wasn't alive to Panagakos' challenge. But that's going to go for a goal kick. Do you have sprints at Adelaide Uni, and does Laura Johns win them at Adelaide United, I should say?
Yeah, she's definitely up there. I'm trying to think. I think Chelsea is actually normally up there as well. Matilda.
Charlotte Grant.
Charlotte Grant, yeah, she's insane.
Some very fast
She's on another
players.
planet, yeah.
At Adelaide United at the moment.
We do have, and Izzy Hodgson as well. She's very quick. So yeah, we're not lacking for pace, that's for sure.
Now here's Cyrillis, who I understand was a train-on with you at Adelaide United during the season.
Yeah. Yeah, she had a great season last year, so it made a lot of sense for her to be out there.
Yeah, a couple of straight teams of the year in the WNPL for Eleanor Cyrillis.
That's West Adelaide's first offside of the game, Paul, in the 87th minute.
Well, they've certainly broken through on several occasions. Burke. Guajardo tries to turn inside and does so. But Covino recovered. Hodgson. Willisey. And it's going to be a throw for Adelaide Uni.
One thing I think Sarah Willisey has really improved on is her distribution as well. I don't know, maybe I hadn't noticed it before, but in the last year or so, I've really seen a massive improvement in the way she gets the ball out, and her passing is really good for a goalkeeper. I don't know if you agree.
No, I completely agree. I think her distribution just adds, especially for West Adelaide, it adds another dimension to their game where they can really make that triangle with their two centre backs and their goalkeeper. It's really hard to press when Sarah's playing because she's she feels like another field player out there.
Hey, when she came on as a sub in the grand final during extra time, were you guys thinking, okay, this can't go to penalties?
Yeah, I think it kind of was like, oh my goodness, like the game's almost over, like let's get going. But I was surprised. It was a little bit early that she came on.
There was a bit more time up the sleeve before she had to come.
And so yeah, I was a bit surprised by that. But yeah, that was kind of like maybe a bit of a wake-up call for us. Like, okay, like let's finish this before it goes to penalties. And luckily, Georgia Campagnoli was there to backheel us to our third WNPL title.
Spiro and I haven't called a penalty shootout yet, and we thought that was our big chance, Dylan.
Wow.
Yeah, we're so angry with you, Dylan. We were furious with you on the day.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've had a penalty shootout with Adelaide City. I think we've normally, when we've won finals, we've normally done it
well,
in regular time.
The last time I remember seeing City in a shootout was, I think, the season before you came back.
Against Fulham.
And that was against Fulham in the preliminary final. And Sarah Willisey was in goals for City and scored a penalty in that shootout.
I took a penalty for Fulham in that game.
You did indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was my last game for Fulham.
It was a very rainy night here, I remember.
It was. And I think we'd played them the week before in the cup final as well. So felt like we had just been playing Adelaide City non-stop that year.
Yeah, I don't think City's been in a shootout since then.
At least we have a good track record.
Here's Curry. Hasn't had a chance. Against this very, very strong West Adelaide defence to really get too many openings.
Just ticked over into the last minute of regulation time, Paul.
Pritchard. Tilly. Burke for Uni, but Pritchard again. And Tilly, and this flag has stayed down for Macri. She got the other side of the fence. That's a great little ball through, but it's going to be cut out by Box. Well done. Kirkby was bearing down on that. 4-0, but they're still pushing West Adelaide. Laura Johns. And the cross comes in. Tilly! Just wide. Well, Dylan, summary of this game, I mean, is there anything that I think Adelaide Uni might have to think, what is it that they take out of this game, and what can they say, where do we go from here? We've got a cup final on Monday. You know, what are the things that they really need to address?
I feel like there's just been a little bit of a disconnect between their midfield and their front line. I think, in the first half when it was Burke and Sparrow up front, they looked a bit isolated, and I think they need to kind of bridge that gap and almost throw caution to the wind a little bit and really, take the game to Fulham on Monday night and see what can happen.
Just confirming the result in the other game being played concurrently here, Paul. It is Metro United 2, Adelaide Comets 1, which means that Metro have moved to 21 points and only 1 point behind Salisbury interim third.
I'll tell you what that also does is that means that and it's full time here, and the final score, Adelaide Uni 0, West Adelaide 4, 2 goals to Georgia Macri, 1 to Nicole Tilley and 1 to Emily Hodgson. A very authoritative performance by West Adelaide, and Adelaide Uni, despite some useful play during the game, just weren't able to make the chances. Really, Sarah Willisey made one big save tonight, but everything else was routine. I just got some stats from the second half. 15 shots to 4 for West Adelaide, 6 of them on target, 2 on target for Adelaide Uni, just the 1 corner to West Adelaide. 3 fouls, Adelaide Uni, 2 West Adelaide. It was a pretty clean game tonight. 2 offsides and for Adelaide Uni and 1 for West Adelaide, and no cards this evening. It certainly wasn't that sort of game. And once again, well done to Cole Davies making his senior debut as a referee, which went very, very well. Just looking at the full-time stats, 23 shots to 9 for West Adelaide, 13 on target to 5. Adelaide Uni with 3 corners to West's 1. Only 10 fouls tonight, 6 by West, 4 by Uni, and the 3 offsides, 2 to Uni and 1 to West. But what I was going to say before the full-time whistle went was that the finals race is almost settled, because with Metro getting to 21 points courtesy of that win tonight, well, in fact, I think it is settled, because then next on the ladder is NTC on 11 points, and that's a 10-point gap, and there's only 3 rounds left. So we can confirm that Adelaide City, Salisbury Inter, West Adelaide and Metro will be the 4 finalists. The only thing that needs to be determined is what the order will be to decide who will be playing who in those first couple of weeks. But West have now moved back into second spot. They're 2 points ahead of Salisbury Inter, and of course, if you do finish in the top 2, gives you a big advantage. And of course, last season West Adelaide won the opening final against Adelaide City, Dylan, and did give themselves the week, and meant that you had to go through the longer route, which of course you did. But so it can be handy finishing in that position.
Oh, it definitely is handy. I think you definitely want to win that game and go straight to the grand final and have that week off. But at the same time, if you lose, that you have another chance. So it's, I think, really important to finish in the top 2.
Well, that's our coverage for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us here on Match of the Month, proudly brought to you by the RAA. Car insurance that keeps you moving. Visit raa.com.au. Reminding you that final score was West Adelaide 4, Georgia Macri got 2, Emily Hodgson got 1, and Nicole Tilley got the other. Adelaide Uni 0. Dylan, absolute pleasure to have you next to us. Thank you so much for bringing your insight and your expertise to the call.
No, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Paul, wasn't bad seeing you either, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, it was good to see you. Yeah,
we'll be back on September the 11th, folks. Put that one in your diary. We'll be back to call that the next match of the month on September the 11th. But for now, from the Football Federation of South Australia, it is good night, and please enjoy your football.